Part of my usual routine on Wednesday mornings is to play basketball with students. Unlike most days, today I caught an elbow right on my cheekbone, under the eye, in a rebounding situation. Had to have ice put on me, had to be checked out for a concussion. I'm okay, except for a little discoloration of the cheekbone. In the last 50 years, some scientists and scholars, including myself, argue that the magnitude and rapidity and pervasiveness of environmental change is so great that we might consider recognizing this as a new interval of geological time. And there's a term that people use for this, the Anthropocene. A fair bit of my writing in recent years has been about the usefulness, the validity, the difficulties of the term and concept Anthropocene. On balance, I think it's a worthwhile concept, and so I continue to use it. I think it encapsulates the magnitude and variety and thoroughness of environmental change and human-induced environmental change of the last 50, 60, 70 years. So the core of my research is environmental history. The first project I did in environmental history was about the Mediterranean world, about upland regions, mountainous regions in southern Europe and North Africa and Turkey. And that was work that I did in the late 1980s and early 1990s, and ever since I have called myself an environmental historian. But a fair bit of my work since then has been global scale environmental history, trying to make sense of the scale, scope, and pace of environmental change in recent centuries. So in particular, I've been concerned with the biological and geophysical changes to life on Earth and to the Earth itself in recent centuries, and trying to explain why they have happened in social, economic, and political terms. Now I'm going to go back in time a bit and write a global environmental history of the long 19th century, by which I mean 1780 to 1920, and it's going to feature industrialization and the impacts around the world of the demand for raw materials of industrialization. And I'm going to try to explain the linkages between the heartlands of industrialization and the frontiers of the global economy that provided the cotton, the wool, the copper, the tin, the whale oil, the palm oil, all the things that had to be brought together for industrialization to take the course that it did. So I'm going to try to make an argument that the Industrial Revolution should be understood from the outset as a global process, not just an English process, and that it should be understood from the outset as an ecological transformation, not just a social and economic transformation, which it was, but it was more than that.